federal investigators asked for any communications that are yours or anything related to you from City Hall via subpoena?
Investigations that are ongoing, and we're complying.
Okay, so you don't want to say?
I don't know what you're asking me. You're asking me, you're being inappropriate in terms of what you're asking me. But what I will say, any and all investigations that are ongoing, regardless of any agency.
The indictment alleges that in October of 2021, Mayor Cantrell and Jeffrey Vappy, a member of her executive protection team, developed a personal, intimate relationship. From that time until Mr. Vappy's retirement in June of 2024, they embarked on a scheme to defraud the city of New Orleans and the New Orleans Police Department.
So ladies and gentlemen, we see more details on the 18 federal accounts on Mayor LaToya Cantrell of New Orleans. A lot of charges. She is in a lot of trouble. Now, she's not even going to be mayor in a few months. She's on her way out. She won't be reelected. And she's basically gonna have to start fighting this case, this federal case, very, very soon. In this video, we're gonna be breaking down some of the details of this indictment, all the charges. And then again, just talk about how much evidence is there against LaToya Cantrell and her, I guess, I don't know if they're still together, Vappy, the police bodyguard that she was, where both of them were committing federal crimes. I wonder who's going to snitch on who. But let's check out this clip, and we're going to go back and forth and talk about some of the details from this situation. Let's get into it.
LaToya Cantrell and her former NOPD bodyguard Jeffrey Vappy face a 18-count indictment, and it accuses Cantrell and Vappy of conspiracy, wire fraud, and lying to a grand jury. This is the first time in New Orleans history a sitting mayor faces federal criminal charges. Cantrell is facing serious charges following that indictment just months before her term ends in January. Tonight, city residents weigh in on whether she should remain in office.
But I'm here today to tell you we can't stop here.
Mayor Cantrell was scheduled to be a part of an Amtrak journey from New Orleans to Biloxi. But she was a no-show less than a day after she was indicted by a federal grand jury on conspiracy, fraud, and obstruction.
So we can stop it right there so we can see all of the counts. 18, 1 count of conspiracy, 12 counts of wire fraud, 1 count of conspiracy to obstruct justice, 1 count of false statements, 1 count of obstruction of justice, and 2 counts of false declaration before a grand jury. So again, 18 counts, not 1, not 2, but 18. So that is an extreme indictment on what's going on here. Conspiracy means that she and her bodyguard boyfriend wasn't just sneaking around. They were allegedly plotting to use taxpayer money to cover it up. Wire fraud, that's when you use the electronic systems, emails, bank wires, even WhatsApp to move dirty money. And lying to a grand jury, that's like cheating on a final exam while the teacher is literally watching you. So this is history, and not the good kind of history. New Orleans has seen corruption before, obviously with Ray Nagin, and has a long history of corruption. I mean, at this point, everywhere has a long history of corruption. But this is the first time a sitting mayor is under federal indictment. So the feds don't drop 18 counts unless they have evidence stacked like Jenga. If the FBI comes for you, they've already got your receipts, your screenshots, maybe even your DoorDash orders. I know she probably wanted to have that ride with Amtrak with a smile, but at this point, I think she's gonna probably resign. I mean, you're not gonna be able to show your face. You can say that's anti-leadership. That's not leadership. You're playing hide and seek, but who knows? At this point, I mean, yes, it's a public event, it's taxpayer funded, but she knows that the people of New Orleans are fed up, not just because of the affair, not just because of the $70,000 in travel. That, even though that's probably wild, it's because she won't even face the music. She's not really skilled at handling the media. She gets really disrespectful sometimes when she's talking to reporters.
How is it an inappropriate question to ask what federal investigators have subpoenaed?
Because, first of all, it's in regards to investigations that are ongoing, and investigations ask for certain information, and we all comply, and we'll continue to do that.
I think she's just saying, you know, kind of asked and answered it, so we can just...
Yeah, I mean, it's investigations and any and all. Any and all.
I think she's pretty much done. Or maybe she's just saying, you know what? I don't respect you guys enough to explain myself. If that's the vibe, then yeah, she's going to probably have to resign. I mean, at this point, you're not really governing, you're just dodging.
Cantrell has 5 months before her term is up. She made history in 2018 by becoming the first woman mayor of New Orleans, and now she is also the first sitting mayor to be indicted. A lifelong New Orleans resident who does not want to be identified says she thinks the mayor should not resign.
She's the first black female mayor here. I don't think it's right, but she's just been indicted. So, yeah, she needs to finish out her term here.
Innocent until proven guilty, but it's the court of public opinion. That's how politicians get elected. And what's being laid out by the feds looks pretty damning. So I disagree with this resident. If you are embarrassing yourself and you got caught and you're not even attending public functions, resign. So I don't know why would someone force themselves to stay on a job that they're not even participating in. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I believe that she should resign and take that time to fight your federal charges.
18-year resident Jonathan Resin says he thinks Cantrell will stick it out for the rest of her term, even though he doesn't agree with her leadership.
Very disappointed. It kind of breaks my heart because it's somebody we're supposed to trust. And, you know, if she did that, what else did she do? She had the credit card thing going in when she was on city council, and here she is doing something else. Come on, red flags?
New information tonight involving the audit looking into New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell's credit card spending when she was on the city council.
Well, the Attorney General says the probe into Mayor Cantrell's credit card spending is over, and Mayor Cantrell won't be facing any criminal charges in the case. The Orleans Parish District Attorney asked the Louisiana Department of Justice to look into Cantrell's use of a city-issued credit card while she was on the city council. Cantrell's credit card use was called into question during last year's mayoral election when it was revealed she used her city card for nearly $9,000 in personal or political expenses, reimbursing the city months and in some cases even years later.
The state auditor came in, a completely impartial person, and exonerated her, saying basically she did what the rest of the council did. It would be real hard to show that she had the intent to commit a crime here.
The indictment alleges that for about 3 years, Cantrell manufactured opportunities to travel with Vappy to engage in personal activities at taxpayers' expense, costing the city about $70,000. And Cantrell and Vappy are accused of trying to cover up their relationship by lying, even under oath, and deleting WhatsApp messages.
The indictment further describes the many steps that Cantrell and Vappy took to hide their scheme and to perpetuate their continued fraud, including using a secure messaging platform, WhatsApp. Specifically, Cantrell and Vappy used the WhatsApp platform to exchange over 15,000 messages, pictures, and audio clips in an 8-month period. They also used WhatsApp to intimidate subordinates, to harass a citizen, to lie to colleagues and associates, to delete evidence, to make false statements to FBI agents.
So the biggest issue here, which is mind-blowing, is the indictment further describes the many steps that Cantrell and Vappy took to hide the scheme. So this including WhatsApp. So Cantrell and Vappy exchanged over 15,000 messages, pictures, and audio clips in an 8-month period. So they definitely were crushing on each other. 15,000 messages. WhatsApp, everyone knows politicians switch to those secure apps. Is definitely not for Bible study. That indictment spells it out. They weren't just flirting, they were deleting evidence, intimidating staff, harassing critics, and that's not love notes. That's basically mob tactics. Then you have the whole city-owned apartment, the taxpayer Airbnb for late-night meetups. And while he was clocked in on duty, he was in the penthouse just chilling. So that is straight-up fraud. If I told my boss, if I had a job, I'm on duty, but really I'm wine tasting in Napa, I would be unemployed by Monday. So this is where the case gets airtight because there's the receipts, 15,000 of them. And in federal court, screenshots hit harder than excuses.
Mayor Cantrell characterized her trips with Vappy as both, quote, times when we are truly alone, close quote, and as what, quote, spoils me the most. These trips included a trip to San Francisco, which Vappy and Cantrell decided to extend for an extra day so that they could visit a series of Napa Valley wineries. While Vappy was wine tasting on April the 9th, 2022, He claimed to be working and was in fact paid for working a 15-hour day.
That's embezzlement with champagne service. So here's the thing, feds don't really care about your private life, but when you bill taxpayers for it, then they probably care a whole lot. So the example, the Napa Valley wine tour, Vappy billed the city for a 15-hour shift while sipping Cabernet with the mayor, enjoying the best of wine. That's fraud with basically a hangover. And Cantrell's excuse that she needed safety during COVID, except she also took solo trips with no protection detail at all. So which is it? Safety or sneaky vacations? And obviously the receipts don't lie. This is why residents are pretty pissed off. They want crime taken care of. They want infrastructure being repaired. Not $70,000 charged to the city card for hotel rooms, flights, and romantic business, because that's betrayal of trust. Clear as day, and they can't afford it. The indictment also alleged that the mayor abused her public position to seek non-public information in the support of the restraining order against her. So a regular citizen snaps a picture of her and Vappy, and instead of just saying, yeah, you caught me, let's try to show some contrition, she allegedly goes full secret police, pulling out private records, filing restraining orders, and harassing the woman through city resources. That's an abuse of power. There is no other way to explain it. And this part shows why it's more than just a fair story. It's about control. It's about using city resources and taxpayer money to silence people that you don't like. That's illegal, not just petty. And it proves that she cares more about protecting herself than protecting New Orleans. If your personal drama turns into a federal obstruction charges, it's time to pack it up and it's time to resign. So what's her legacy? I think for the most part, it's not going to be great. It's a lot of dysfunction. I mean, you have prisoners breaking out. It's a lot of issues. LaToya Cantrell made history as being the New Orleans' first female mayor. But instead of being remembered for rebuilding neighborhoods or lifting the city, she's being remembered for 18 federal charges, 15,000 WhatsApp receipts, and $70,000 tax-funded getaways. She could try to limp out her term until January. At this point, every day that she stays in office is just another day of embarrassment. She doesn't want to show up in public. So the city has a lot of problems. They still have crime, they still have poverty, they still have recovery to worry about. Yet the mayor is fighting federal prosecutors over wine trips with her boyfriend. Resigning won't erase the indictment, but maybe it'll give New Orleans a chance to move forward. And then she needs to spend her time fighting these federal charges. So she's fighting for survival right now. You're not leading right now. So history is going to remember not necessarily the first mayor part, but definitely the first indicted mayor part. I think that's what they're going to be remembering. But let me know what you guys think about the charges in the comments below. Do you think they're pretty much dead to rights and she's in a lot of trouble? Or you think she's going to be able to get out of it? Let me know. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.